Sad, really, isn't it? People spend all their time making nice things, and other people come along and break them.
I have been a Doctor Who fan for the better part of my life. I think I was probably 5 or 6 when I actually became properly engrossed in the show. I owe a lot to the show. In fact, one of the reasons why I want to become a filmmaker or a writer, just a creative person in general, is because of the show. It all goes back to that very first episode that I watched in 2005. You know, I've always really loved the show. I've been there through its hardships when it's gone a bit off track, a bit downhill, and I'm still here today in 2019. Another year where we have no new episodes of Doctor Who except that New Year special, if you kind of count that in 20... It sucks. It's a quiet year for Doctor Who. You see, in 2018, that's not gonna work. You see, in 2018, the show was rebooted. It was given a whole new look, a whole new breath of fresh air. It was great. Well, it was great to have the show back, at least. I'm gonna start this video by saying that I actually really did enjoy the season, despite some of the negative stuff that I'm gonna talk about in this video. I did, upon the whole, enjoy the season, and that is just my opinion. I don't want any hate or controversy out there. That's just my opinion. I'll come back to that later on, but Doctor Who was back, and for the most part, I think the first episode was really well received for the new sort of change of look, the change in style, the whole new Doctor and the whole team behind it. Everyone seemed to quite like that first episode, well, at least to an extent. But oh boy, that love quickly dwindled down as the season progressed. Let's get into that. Was that super cheesy? I think it was super cheesy. Oh well, can't take it back now. I mean, I could re-edit it out, but I'm not gonna do that. You see, in the past, every season of Doctor Who has had a main series story arc and also quite strong character arcs, especially for the Doctor. The 9th Doctor was recovering from the Time War, the 10th Doctor was recovering from losing his friends and was getting pretty emotional on that part. The 11th Doctor, that was a bit more of a confusing one. I think he was sort of on a bit more of a fun path, got too attached and then got depressed when people died. And then the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, my personal favourite, opinion, it's just an opinion, he was on a bit of a redemption story. Now that brings us to Doctor number 13, Jodie Whittaker. Just to start off, I'd like to say that I do really like Jodie Whittaker as an actress. I think she's great in Broadchurch. And I think she is great in this with what she's given. So if I had to pick one main thing that I didn't really like about this season, the one main pet peeve that I had was Jodie Whittaker's lack of character arc as the Doctor. She's never given a defining Doctor moment within the first season. There's little speeches here and there, and she does those beautifully. I just don't know where they're going with her. At the moment, she's a very excited child, you know, like almost like she has ADHD or something, and that's great, that's fun. I just want to see maybe some consequences for those actions. I want to see some emotion. At the moment, I don't feel attached to her Doctor because it's almost like she hasn't been through everything. Everything's gone her way. Maybe if when Graham's wife died in the first episode, maybe that could have played on her mind a bit more in the season, and throughout the rest of the season, she was trying to make it up to Graham. I don't know, I just feel like they could have gone a different approach and definitely could have given her a bit more of a story. There wasn't a main story arc this season. I mean, you can argue Tim Shaw, that boy, but no, personally, I didn't think there was a main story arc, which I was fine with. But if you're not going to do that, you need to compensate with some really good character arcs, and you have great characters like Graham and Ryan, which have some really good character arcs. Yaz loses out a bit more, but you need the Doctor to potentially have the best one. And a great season of Doctor Who will intervene the story arc with the character arc, and then also have the character arc of the Doctor be weaving around whatever the companions are going through. But that just didn't happen this season, and for me, that is the fundamental flaw of Doctor Who Series 11. I don't know, I hope they can fix it up. I know that old mate Chris Chibnall can, because for starters, he's done it good with Ryan and Graham. And I mean, this guy, he wrote Broadchurch. Broadchurch was an amazing TV show. It's only 3 seasons long, but everything was so well thought out. I mean, season 2 went a little bit off track, but like seasons 1 and season 3 for me were so powerful, and all the character arcs throughout those seasons were great. So I know you can do it, Chibbers. Let's do it. Come on. Season 12. Give the Doctor something to do. On that note, there is one more thing about Doctor Who Series 11 that I do want to talk about. And that thing is the fandom. Let's get this a bit straighter. Honestly, right now, the fandom is in a bit of a state. No one seems to agree with each other, which is fine. Some people really love season 11, some people really, really hate it. And I'm all for controversy. It keeps TV shows and movies relevant. That's one of the reasons why I love The Last Jedi so much, because to this day, people are still talking about it. But what I do hate is when people take it a bit too seriously. I mean, I love the show, but at the end of the day, it is just a TV show. I see a lot of people out there that love season 11 being hated on by people who hate it. And there's no reason to transform your hate onto that person, you know, but it goes both ways. I see a lot of people out there that hate it and aren't doing any harm. They just say that they really dislike it, and then people that do like it are saying, you know, you're wrong, that is a terrible opinion, and also then hating on that person. And for me, a show like Doctor Who that has never taken itself too seriously and has a lot of fun most of the time, for me, the sort of love and happiness that's involved in the show should transform into the fandom. They should be there for each other, they shouldn't be there to hate on each other like they are at the moment, because it is just a TV show. You don't have to take it too seriously.
Did you really just solve that with your sonic screwdriver?
Thank you very much. Good to meet you.
I shook his hand twice.
So today is the premiere of Doctor Who Series 11.
Love the round things.
Alright, so that's pretty much all I gotta say on that matter, you know, just that's my main criticisms and the main flaw I've had with the Doctor Who fandom in the past 12 months or so. I still love the show, and I love talking to people about it, so I just wish I didn't feel so pressured to have a certain opinion sometimes when I talk about it. Yeah, I've been wanting to make this video since season 11 aired a few months ago. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around. As always, you are dope, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Adios.